Okay, so today is fun day on my computer because this is when we're going to do books. And you can do favorite books, you can do books you hated, you can do books that were interesting, you can do books that you felt were educational. So this is actually the one that was biggest on my list. I had, when I first did this whole exercise of taking out the mental trash, it was because I had um, so many books in my head that I stopped writing it in the paper. And I pulled up my computer and I pulled up a file and I was like, I just need these out of my head. And so it was, what's the version of Excel on Google Drive? That's what I used, the green one that has all the different. And I called it children's books. And in this file, hold on, let me pull this up. And I can give you the link to it. I think it's funny how I have it in my Google Drive. That's okay. I have an introduction to it because I have shared it with so many homeschool families. Because I didn't do this as, oh, that's not it. Where did I save it in my drive? Probably under homeschool. I have so many books in my head that like once I started writing, I was like, I just need it in bigger, and I would put books for children that for reading aloud to them, and then books for them starting to read, and you have development. And instead of saying what is grade is there, well, in homeschool we don't do grades. That's dumb. Like if you've ever read the book Understood Betsy, it's public domain, so you can go on like LibriVox and listen to it. It's so good, Understood Betsy. And she's like, if I am seventh grade math, or no, seventh grade reading and third grade math, then what grade am I? And the teacher chuckled at her turn of phrase of like, what grade am I? But children really do associate a great deal of their identity on what grade they are in. Almost like that is what grade they are. And that's really sad because like we have more than that in our identity. And so instead of doing it by grade, did it by development. So I've got a cover letter and then I've got religious specific books because I like to read about lots of different kinds of religions, and then picture books and read aloud nonfiction books. Self read level 1, level 2 reader, level 2 historical fiction. So, pardon me, level 3 historical fiction and nonfiction. And this one's interesting, and it has an introduction at the top of like, okay, this is why I teach history this way. And I started it with some biblical fiction. I don't like most biblical fiction, but there are a couple authors that I really, really liked theirs. And they do have things like, by the way, this is dealing with some really heavy topics. These are the topics. So you can tell. And then I have the classics. So you've got like the Aeneid and Grapes of Wrath and Squanto. And these are the really rough ones. And then some are a little harder. Like Robinson Crusoe and Treasure Island is kind of scary. You have real pirates in there and it's not fun. Then I've got Mayflower, Revolutionary, and Regency, because depending on what side of the pond you're on. French Terror, Waterloo, War of 1812, Pioneers, um, Alaska, which has a lot of drama that went happen, slavery topics, Civil War, Victorian, and the Golden Age. What's the next one? 1960s. Oh no, there's some World War II, World War One there. Um, Contemporary historical fiction. So that's like all one category. And then I have level 3 fiction. And then we have school assists, gardening, financial books, emotional intelligence and health. Let's see. Science fiction, science and nutrition, art, writing, other people's book lists. I don't know if I actually put anything under that one yet. Because some people had thought about joining and adding their 2 cents. And some of them I like put links of where you could, go buy it. Some are harder to find, some are out of print. I want to get some by Benjamin Rush. I really want to read Benjamin Rush. He was as influential as George Washington, and actually the reason why people finally were incited into movement because Benjamin Rush was essentially kidnapped by the British. And they were like, you can't do that. He's like super good guy. Like where are you taking Benjamin Rush of all people? He's like amazing. He's a doctor and he wrote some books. Anyway, I'd read his. I'd be fascinated by what he knew about medicine. Um, Super cool. So today you're gonna write these, and I will be happy to give you the link to this book list. And then you can read your heart's content. I definitely do not put a certain kind of book on here. I'm not a Stephen King fan. I know he's a fantastic person. I really loved his, I think it was a TEDx talk, was fantastic. He's like, if you can accomplish in 6 hours what homeschoolers do in 2 hours, then yeah, I'll make my son do homework. But I'm not going to otherwise, because you can't make him do a full-time job and a part-time job. Not doing. And like, he has some really great ideas. Like I say, he's a good person, but horror and me just mix not. So you're not going to find those kinds of books in here because that's not going to be on my book list. But they might be on yours. Like, I still have nightmares from some of the books I read that were Stephen King. And I was like, no. But I don't have nightmares with Les Miserables. Why? I don't know, because it's the French Revolution, and like, or no, it's one of the revolutions before the French Revolution, and like, it's kind of bloody in this, and like, and then he goes through the sewers and he describes the sewers of France really, really well, and they're awful. But I don't have nightmares about that. But I do about these like fictional, very scary stories. I don't do no horror, no, not happening. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in, and this list might just be paper. You might be pulling up your other notebook. Obviously, this is just my list, but I've been using my other note, your trash notebook, and you can put books you really hate. You can put books that you wish your teacher never made you read, and you had to read it for school, and it really irritated you. My physical science class, the book was useless. It was so useless. The teacher actually told us it was inaccurate, and that if when we took the test, we had to answer it differently than the book said because the book was wrong. That was very confusing for my brain. I did not. I really struggled with that class because I couldn't know that I could read it and like make sure that was the authority. So that's the only book in college that I sold back. I love my books, but that was not one of the ones I kept because I was like, if it's broken, why would I keep it? This one might be emotional for you. I don't know if it would be. I put more of it as a cheerful day personally. Um, you're gonna love tomorrow. It's like, yeah, I have no problem with tomorrow, but some people might be like, I need to scribble this one out because I have so much big feeling on this one. And scribbling is a great idea. It's fantastic, but yeah, no, you're gonna come in here. Oh yeah, those are still pulled up. I was doing body work this morning, so I pull up my sleeves when I do body work because sometimes I will use like my elbow or my forearm. Anyway, yeah, you're gonna do this. It's gonna be super fun. Get ready, go, and write about books.